Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to FortressCraft Evolved. I'm AxionEvolved, and today we are continuing our massive factory build as we're getting attacked. You see these giant monsters coming in. But before we get started, do me a quick favor. Scroll down like one click of your mouse wheel and hit that subscribe button. Help me get my goal of 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2023. That's the plan. I think you guys can help me do it. We are so close. So with that out of the way, let's hop right into this. So last episode, there was quite a bit of prep work, and it all started right here with doing this large-scale vein extraction. But you can see as I scroll down here, we've got a couple things left that we need to get. Chromium ore, molybdenum ore. Now, on one hand, it's kind of crazy to me that we're even doing this right now when we haven't even taken out any overmines, right? But it's all going to kind of play into what we're going to need to do before we start taking out those things. And I can explain some of that here in a second, but let me show you what else we've done in between episodes. So one of the things we needed was this hard rock grinder. You can see I've already got some of these made. Now, we'd use this to get those T4 ores, right? And this is super, I guess, inefficient. You only get a few, but remember, we only need one of each ore. And what was kind of holding us back were these imbued machine blocks. And let me tell you, those weren't cheap, because if we look at what we had to do here, this whole power core factory is just completely all done up. So mark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 power boosters, all eventually feeding into this guy. Is it this guy? This guy under here. Right here we've got the imbued machine block assembler. And what's kind of crazy about all this is just the sheer amount of power. Right. Some of this lower stuff, it's only taken a couple hundred. But the Mark 5s, I think it's, 2,000. There's no way we're getting 2,000 on that. So what I did is I actually set up these things right here, and 2 Mark 4 batteries, organic solar panels, just a bunch of pyrothermics on there. It got the job done, right? So we got enough of the imbued machine blocks, which I think are right here, to get those hard rock grinders. That's all fine and dandy. And you see we got the Mark 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all the power boosters right here. So we just kind of have those, right? And so that's good. We need to get down to the chromium and the molybdenum and kind of process that stuff, right? Because I want to fix that or finish that research. But something else that I want to look at doing, maybe even this episode. Eventually, we're gonna need bug parts to kind of run certain things. You know, I think we need some of them for lenses eventually. So what I want to do is kind of modify our Falcor system in order to really account for some of those bug parts. So, I mean, you can see kind of the small setup we have here, mostly for eyes. Well, we need to expand that to kind of get all the pristine bug parts, right? So I think what I've done in the past is kind of the same process where these just look for the pristine parts of all the different types, and all the ruined and everything else macerates, right? I did a thing where you kind of like use organic reassembler and all that. I'm not even gonna bother with that. Pristine parts, I don't think they expire on the belts, so we're just gonna get them directly. And that's just going to require all of our Falcors just to kind of do their jobs and all that. So want to expand that. I think there's 5 or 6. Let's see. So we got 1, 2 pristine. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think these 4 things right here. Oh yeah, these 4 are right here. Oh, and this 5. I think it's 5 more things, right? So we'll have to set up 5 more lines. A couple more 2,000 slot hoppers, and it should be okay. We're gonna have to move this, I think, but we can kind of reposition things as necessary to accommodate this, and it should be pretty simple. I got plenty of, let's see here, plenty of conveyor filters, plenty of belts, 7,000 belts. It's kind of crazy. So that's going to be something I want to do too. But before we do any of that, let's run down and look at the frozen factory. And the first thing you should notice while we're down here is that you can see, I mean, obviously, things are loading in. You know, I think my draw distance is pretty far on this new computer, but you can see, and that is courtesy of all of the lights we got going on down here. So changed this battery here, and you can see it's just another Mark IV battery just peeking out. And I've got all these laser energy transmitters going off in all these different directions. And if you look, we've got some electric lights. So this is kind of what I was talking about, where we just have like a grid of energy at the top, lights on it. And I don't know if this is the permanent solution or if I'm going to end up replacing all of this with Mark IV batteries and conduits, or if I'm going to have kind of like a mid layer, you know, something, I don't know, like 30 blocks up, where I run all of the power. I don't know. There's still a lot to think about. We got crystal to get rid of. There's quite a bit. And you can see we're still digging out all the corners. So eventually, I think I'm going to have, I don't know, maybe 150 block radius that I'm going to eventually need to make walls with. So still a lot to do down here. But you know, it's a work in progress, and I'm trying to get some of it done in between episodes. You know, we've got stuff like this that's going to have to get dug out, and you know, all kinds of good stuff. So that's still going, but we came down here for something specific, and that is to go get the chromium and molybdenum. So let's go down and get that. All right, and so remember, this is the lowest level. I think that just goes down quite a bit. Eventually we need to hit the magma, but that's farther down, so we're not too worried about that just yet. But here we have the molybdenum, right? And the first thing we need to do is we need to find, for the hard rock grinder, it's a 3x3 area, right? So we need a 3x3 area. Now, I don't know. How far does this go? Let's take a look here. Because if we got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, this might be actually our target. So what I'm gonna do is, if this is, all right, so this level right here. So if I take one of these guys right there, and we'll do radius 1, height like nothing, that should ideally cut everything out that we need. So we'll do clear ore, drop. Well, okay. This is where the moral part of the game comes in. I could drop some of this ore and kind of quote unquote cheat. But it's like, I'm already cheating with this. But you know what? I'll do it the real way and we'll drop none. Just so people who maybe haven't done this before can see how it is done. So with that being said, I'm going to, I need to grab power from over here. We're going to do something like that. And then we will do, where's that, right here? Nope, I wanted the batteries. We'll do that. And then we will do that, and let's see what happens. Yeah, so we'll just pretend that we were doing things the right way. All right, so that is exactly what we want right there. A 3x3 block. Now let's, I may need that actually. So we want to go, and we want to use the hard rock grinder. I don't remember if this needs power or not. Probably though, why wouldn't it? Hard rock grinder cannot function without active cold cavern climate control center. Dang it, I forgot about that. Am I ready for that? I don't know. Let's hold on to that for now. Yeah, let's well, let's do Yeah, let's just hold on to that for now. Let's go up to the other one. All right, and same thing here. We need a 3x3 area, and I think we have to cut it out of this right here. So let's go like that. We'll drop none. Clear ore, but I might need a little bit more height there. Right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think technically that gets us what we need. Let's fill that in. Let's give it a shot. I gotta figure out how to get power over here though. Because of course I do, right? Do I have an I do have an opening. You know what? Let's just do this. We're just gonna dig ourselves a little hole. And again, this is all kind of temporary, right? This is not like final infrastructure. Oh, okay. There's our 3x3. That's all we need. I didn't want to do that. You know, we will need a 3x3 face, although I think we can use this face right here. When we finally do get to the here, we'll put that there. When we finally do get to the trencher, we're gonna need another 3x3 face. 3x3 vertical face. And yeah, so I think that 3x3 vertical face will work for our trencher. We'll have to dig this out maybe a little bit more, but that shouldn't be a big deal. We're gonna need to plan out lifts and everything anyway, so okay. So now we're stuck with a decision. we can't do this without the climate control center. And the minute we place the climate control center, we effectively start the frozen factory stuff, which means that we're kind of in a pickle. I know we wanted to, oh man. I'm just not ready with the build fully yet in order, like I don't have the wall set up to fight the cryoplasma spawner. Let's survey our surroundings here. So that's our main power shaft. I mentioned before that I didn't want this necessarily on the main power. That's the shaft down to the chrome and molybdenum. So the C5, I think, if I had it on a hotbar, the C5 is here. I think I wanted to put that, I guess, over here. Maybe a little bit more centrally located, right? So it's 5x5, right? So let's do something like this. And obviously I'm leaving this gap here for the power, right? So we're gonna do this. Wait, what is this? This needs to be 7. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. We'll just finish building this. Okay, and then obviously it's not built yet because we haven't finished this. God, do I just pull the trigger on this and just like let it happen? Now, actually, let's do this. Let's do that. And then we'll do this. We'll do this. We'll do this. Because we want continuity of power, right? I think it's right there. Yeah. And then we want to encase this guy in a little bit of glass. Nope. A little bit of glass. I guess let's weigh the pros and cons here. The cons are we immediately start having cryoplasm. Now, I don't know how cryoplasm behaves on trivial mobs. So I don't know if that's something that we'll kind of more easily be able to handle. Because as of right now, let's see. I'm at x negative 60, z 0. So 0, negative 60. So if I go out, where's my wall right now? We're doing a whole journey of discovery that I wasn't planning on doing. Okay, so we're about 115 meters this way. So if I'm 115 this way, and is that enough? Oh boy, this is quite... Okay, so I was negative 60, so 115 meters, what is that? 55? And I'm not even close to 55 over here. Where is that? So 55 is right about... Well, I guess when this gets dug out, that's about... Now, I guess for those of you who've never played Frozen Factory, what I'm debating right now is when that structure gets placed, it will immediately spawn. And I think somebody commented this in the last episode as well. So very, very good comments there. But the gist of it is, the minute I finish that building, there will immediately be 8 cryoplasm spawners, right? So here, if I'm standing here, from the middle of this, there'll be one there, 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 right? So in all the cardinal directions. But also that corner, that corner, that corner, that corner, right? So 8 all around. What those will start doing is immediately start spawning cryoplasm. And if you don't know, cryoplasm is kind of like the enemy in the Frozen Factory expansion. It's basically a cold goop that tries to work its way down, or work its way towards your CP or C5, I guess. Now, the reality is that the cryoplasm will never get so close to the C5 that it completely envelops. Like, you can't lose necessarily, but it can definitely make things very inconvenient. Like, any lasers we have on the ground will have to encase in glass, right? And there's a whole setup when it comes to how we fight the cryoplasm with melters and kind of similar to the resin where you have a softener and then a remover. Same thing here. You have like a melter and then a remover, right? So I'd say the big push here is the power infrastructure. That's what I'm worried about the most. I can make, 2 turbines, but let's see. Let's actually take a look real quick. If we do the research we're looking at, large scale vein extraction, right? So this gets us... So these components right here, casting basin, blast furnace, and the casting pipe, that is all the smelting. That's very power intensive. Trencher motor, trencher drill, that is the mining component. Also expensive. Arc smelter upgrade, that's something we could hypothetically use on a normal smelter to melt some of the ore we get. But either way, we need to power the trencher. And I'm concerned mostly that if we don't prepare, it could just be a pain, honestly, to get things set up. What else did... particular filtration's another one we need the bars for. And... you'll notice there isn't anything related to defense in here, I don't think, right? Yeah. We don't have any Frozen Factory defense yet. You know what? Let me think about this for a bit. And in the meantime, let's go up and do the Falcors. And I guess we'll figure it out from there. Now, there is another option, right? And I'm showing it to you on screen here. What we can do is, make 8 of these, right? And then we can, charge them up pretty high. We've got some time, right? We can charge them up pretty high. Maybe level 5, which is, I think, their highest charge. Actually, there might be more. I don't know. Level 5 is probably pretty good. Maybe that's about 1,000,000 power. Maybe we could strap it on some turbines, like no problem. So we do that, and then we place these. Now, I think the spawners are roughly the same height as the... they're roughly the same height as the C5. So something we can do, make 8 of these, get them all to level 5. Place these in the area that the cryoplasm spawners would spawn, and then detonate them. What does that do? That will make, and actually, we could even do this lower, kind of like as low as realistic. And what that'll do is that'll make a giant pit under the cryoplasm spawners, so that when we create the C5, all of the cryoplasm that gets generated from the spawners will just fall into the ground, right? So like if we're looking at a pit that already exists, right? Say, there's a pit down there. Say we put the chargeable explosives and a giant pit forms. If when the spawner spawns, like this battery, and starts generating cryoplasm, it'll all just fall down the hole. And those make pretty big holes. So that might be a way that we can buy ourselves some time. Because I want a little bit more time to build the walls, just because I don't want future episodes to be purely me just fighting the cryoplasm just so I can place a couple infrastructure buildings, right? And yeah, you know what? Here's what I'll do. I'm executive decisioning this right now. We're going to redo the Falcors. We're going to redo this system so that we can collect all the pristine parts that we will ever need, right? Then what we'll do is I'll make the chargeable explosives first, and then we'll get them charging so that's like they're all doing their thing. And then what's going to happen is, I don't know, maybe we'll end there. And then I want you all to let me know down in the comments whether or not I should place the chargeable explosives or place the C5. I'll kind of leave it up to you guys. So let me get working on building these chargeable explosives, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so I've got everything I need here. Enough to make 8 chargeable explosives. Let's throw those on my hotbar. Oh boy. Okay. I think the best place to charge this is actually going to be the resin farm. So let's head over there. And again, these are all just options, because you also never know when you might just want a chargeable explosive, right? So I'm just going to place them on all these, right? 1, 1, 1, 1. And I'm essentially just going to forget about them, right? They're just going to do their thing. I mean, they're already level 3. So, yeah, I'll just let those go. It'll be a good use of my fuel since, if we go take a look, is just stacking up. Been making plastic pellets for days over here. Oh my gosh. It's actually empty. So much biomass. And all that biomass, just, I guess, a little factory tour update. All that biomass is coming out of here, where I've got so much more. Look at that. literally holding up the line in certain spots. So, yeah, these basic materials aren't going fast, but man, the lithium and higher is definitely always hungry. So, kind of nice there. All right, so let's go mess with our Falcor system, right? So, I think the first thing that we need to do here is move all this, right? So goodbye. Yeah, we'll just go all the way down here and remove, just like that. Luckily, like I said, this system can be pretty easily moved. Not a big deal. And we'll keep the Falcors in place, right? Okay, so we know that we are going to need hoppers, right? So we need at least 5 more, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to be awkward given our space limitation, but fear not, because I think we can just we can do something like that, right? And again, we're not going to be getting the volume that we, you know, like this shouldn't back up like this. Do I care that it's all, you know what, I can't care. I can't. If I care, then it's just too much. We got too much to think about, to worry about the aesthetics of this kind of system, at least for the time being. So let's place all these down. All right, so here's the thing, the filter sorter completed, right? These filters are already set. So massive facet eye, right? So I'm just going to go down my hotbar and literally just set the next row of filters. So I want this to be pristine heavy chitin. So Q, Q, and then we want QT. And then that's just how we're setting them, right? And then for the next one, we want Stinger, not Stinger. Stinger, not Stinger. And so on and so forth. And so we just continue that down the line. And then to make sure it all works, I should be able to just drop all this stuff in and watch it filter to all of its new homes, right? And we should get a nice filtering effect. And then I can drop, what is this? Massive faceted eyes. So I can just put that stuff back in, right? And this should be the blue eyes. And just like that, we should be able to get all of the drops that we get going to the right spot. And we'll never have this much throughput at any one time. Those Falcors are not bringing in this much stuff, you know. So that's great, but that's not all. Let's kind of expand over here a little bit. All right, so now we've got to get all of the other output. And what I think I'm going to do is let's actually set the macerators back up. There we go. So I'm going to put the hoppers down first. Put all these guys down. And then we will put the bigger hoppers down, because the macerators need to be fed from belts, but they need to output into hoppers for whatever reason. I don't question it. I just work here. All right, and then so what we're gonna do then is, I guess we'll make this pretty-ish. We'll do something like this, something like that, and something like that, and we'll just kind of follow that in, right? Because this should be everything from off here. The next one, we're just going to kind of kink out a little bit. Have that one go in right there. And again, this isn't the prettiest setup, maybe, but I want it to just be functional. If I'm going to be honest, I just want functionality. So then we're going to do that. We're going to get rid of that. And we're going to put that guy. All right. So those are down. And then we just need something to grab it off the belt or out of the hopper. Like that. So now, in theory, when we get attacked, we should just be okay. Do I have anything on me? No. You know what? I know there's some parts over here. Because there's always parts over here that I should be able to just pick up. There's literally one part. No problem, right? We drop it. Does it get picked up by the beacon? No, no. There we go. All right. Falcor coming. Perfect. And I mean, it doesn't look all that much different, to be honest. I mean, yeah, sure, it's a little bit more filled out. Maybe we could put a little building on it, but... All right, let's see. Falcor's going to return it, and then that should find its way into... Let's see. There you go. See, found its way into its little home. Boom. Comes all the way down. And now we have capacity for 8,000 of each item. I don't know how much we'll need. But that's how much we can have. Oh, the spider core. Looks like it got something. What do you got? A pristine gland. I know you have a home. There you go. All right. So I think that is done well. I don't know. You know, maybe we can scout around a little bit. Because, like, it looks like the spider core is over here picking things up. I wonder if that beacon is too far away. Maybe I could put a beacon up here, actually. You know, like right there. Throw a guy on there. I don't know if that's too far still. Maybe. Or maybe Spider Bro will pick it up eventually. But we definitely want to be collecting as much as we can. Yeah, whatever. If I pick up that one of my travels, then so be it. I don't see any other kind of big like drop piles anywhere, which would infer that we are killing things within the range of the established beacons we have. All right. Well, on that note, guys, I think I'm going to call it an episode here. Don't forget, we have 8 chargeable explosives going. And I need you to let me know, is that the route we take and we just blow things up? Or should I wall off and properly infrastructure and kind of push that project out a little bit more? Let me know down in the comments. I will be checking and I will have made a decision by the time the next video is up. So you'll find out then. But let me know, like I said. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the series. It's starting to get a little spicy. It's starting to get a little bit more consequential to the actions that we take. So I'm enjoying it, and I hope you are too. So with that out of the way, we'll see you in the next one.